Panther B, what up? I don't think I've been this excited for a preseason game since going on and watch Panthers supposed to Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining us. I know this sounds hyperbolic. I know this sounds borderline manic right now because we're talking about the final preseason game, which most teams do not play their starters because they already got them doing their thing in week 1, week 2, a couple series here and there. But I am genuinely excited of the Carolina Panthers taking on the Buffalo Bills at 1 o'clock on Saturday. My soccer team's also playing at 10 o'clock that morning. It's also my first weekend on my vacation, so Daddy's going to be a little litty by the time it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The reason why I'm so excited because Dave Canales has confirmed that Bryce Young and a couple starters will be getting a little bit of work and a good amount of work in, he says, against the Buffalo Bills, who, mind you, are not slated to start any of their star players. And so this is a great decision. You saw my last video. If you haven't, make sure to check that one out. All I was saying in the last video was basically you cannot expect Bryce Young and this offense. Sure, they're doing a lot of stuff on the field. We're hearing that they've installed the playbook over 10 days ago and they're working on it. Okay, that's great. It's great that you're working on it in practice and walkthroughs, in meetings. It's another thing to go up against somebody who does not like you, does not share the same boss as you, and has a job to win themselves. And so to expect them to not play in the preseason at all together and just to be so in tune with a brand new offense, I don't care that it's been an install for over 10 days now, to then just turn on the switch and then just go play the New Orleans Saints in New Orleans in week 1 when it matters. It just didn't work out. It didn't work for me. This is what I wanted. Maybe this is what Dave Canales wanted the entire time, but I think that this is the right move for Bryce Young and company, whoever is healthy. I know Damian Lewis is doing his own thing. He's hampered a little bit. He's also dealing with personal stuff. That's his business, no doubt. I'm sure that he is a veteran. He is proven. He's played with the Seattle Seahawks. Robert Hunt has played with the Miami Dolphins. These guys are, these are veteran players. And while the offense might be a little bit different what they're dealing with their former teams, I'm sure they could pick something up like that. But for guys like, Jonathan Mingo, Terrace Marshall, two guys who have very good preseasons, especially Terrace Marshall, Xavier Leggett, if he is ready to go, if he's ready, Deontay Johnson, if he's ready to go, if he's healthy, just to get a couple reps, like one series or two or three, just to give people something to look forward to, honestly, in week 1, because the Panther fans aren't going to see their guys until week 2 against the Los Angeles Chargers. Justin Herbert and company with Jim Harbaugh in the house, former Carolina Panthers quarterback. So I think, even though this game I don't think is in Charlotte, I think it's important to get Bryce the reps. You're seeing more now. Maybe I'm on X too much, but you're seeing the likes of Tom Brady. You're seeing the likes of Cameron Jordan. Say what you want about him. Guys talking about rushing rookie quarterbacks into action in their rookie year and expecting them to perform by the time it's their second year. If not their second year, like Bryce is in right now, there's chatter that you got to look at the draft in 2025, 2026. And Tom Brady is saying that is ruining the game. It is ruining the game because it's all about the system. The system is the system. He talked about his time at Michigan, how he started as like the 7th string guy, ended up starting not even full time. Same thing with New England. He fell behind Drew Bledsoe. That's where he started. He's a 6th round pick. And then he was learning the system through Bill Belichick, and it is an intense system. He studied hours upon hours upon hours on the playbook and just getting ready for every single situation. And it didn't take 1 year. It took years for him to really understand it. So he had time to incubate in the system, in the brand that is the New England Patriots offense. And then he says, now you got guys starting in their rookie year. And he says the reason why they're able to do that is because they're not spending 10 hours plus, in the film room, on their iPad. They have simplified offenses so much that it is like spoon feeding and making, almost giving the kid, kitty gloves as a rookie quarterback. You're not giving them an intricate offense for them. They don't really have a lot of responsibilities. Like, I know we don't have the signs on the sidelines in the NFL, but it's basically just one step above that. And Tom Brady says it's ruining the game. You've got a lot of mediocrity out there because you're not allowing guys to really learn the system. And when they get up there, they know exactly what they're doing. They have complete control of the offense, an intricate offense. And according to Tom Brady, it seems like these offenses are kind of simple and kind of predictable. And maybe you could trace it back to 7-on-7, but either way. But you see guys like Jordan Love who've been just incubating there in Green Bay for quite some time. And now he's coming out in the second half of the season last year. They were one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The most famous one is Patrick Mahomes. He sat behind Alex Smith for a year. And I guess the most famous is probably Aaron Rodgers, who sat behind Brett Favre seemingly forever. But that is the way it has to be, according to the greatest of all time, and Tom Brady. Cameron Jordan doing the same thing. He was on Kay Adams' show, talked about how basically, rushing these rookie quarterbacks out there. In particular, they were talking about Bryce Young and expecting them to just be what they were in college. It's just not a reality. And so basically, Bryce, you got to give him time. Well, what year is Jordan Love in? Like his fourth? And only now in his maybe entering his fifth or fourth year that he's as a pro, because remember, they were talking about extending him before he even really did anything because he's been sitting down on the bench for so long. And so for Bryce, I think he's going to be with the Panthers long term. I think depending on what, again, unfortunate, but depending on what he shows this year in terms of progression, I think he's going to be with the Panthers for a good chunk of his career. I think his second contract is going to be with the Panthers. And I think really, as much as I would love to see him grow and do something absolutely out of the ordinary, do something crazy in his second year, and then turn into the second coming of Drew Brees, and we start going to NFC Championship games out of nowhere, I think it's going to take until his fourth or fifth year to really get a grip of the pro game. Panthers also made a trade. They got some cornerback depth in a man named Michael Jackson. No, he's not back from the dead. And no, I'm not going to try to replicate what Aaron did, unnecessary bluntness, when he dropped multiple Michael Jackson innuendos in his little rant. Not going to do it. Not going to do it because it's late for me. I've been up for a while. But they got Michael Jackson, a cornerback. He's played over 20 games in the NFL for their 7th-round pick. The Panthers sending them our 7th-round pick of this year. Linebacker out of Michigan, Michael Barrett. Normally, I'm not a fan of trading away guys who are in their rookie year still and coming from a championship pedigree. That is the Michigan Wolverines right now, winning the national championship. But I think we need more depth in corner than we do at linebacker right now. So I think it only makes sense. You can't. We're out. We got nobody. We got no. Dane Jackson's gonna be out for weeks. Xavier Woods gonna be out for weeks. And J.C. Horn is one shoe tied a little bit too tight away from getting hurt. So you cannot rely on him to be consistently healthy throughout the regular season. So you need somebody. Even though Chanu Wade-Smith, Smith-Wade, I think he's going to be fine. But again, he's a rookie. It's going to take time. We just talked about that with Bryce Young. It's going to take time. So you need somebody with some NFL experience to fill that role, which goes back to why I think in the next year's draft, I think the defense is going to be getting some love. Let's also talk about jerseys. Okay, now I put the processed blue jersey up here for a reason. Not only because it's processed blue, but also it's Bryce Young. But I normally also put the white one. I got my Luke Kuechly Nike limited white. I love the white jersey. I do love it to wear as a fashion piece, if you want to call it that. I also love the processed blue. To be honest, black as the piece to wear out, it's good at the pub, but I actually like wearing the white one more. However, when it comes to my team, that is called the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are black. For them to wear the white jersey, I think it's 11. Is it 11 times? And I don't get it. Apparently, I think my guy Ben Keepern, he mentioned that because the processed blues are technically alternates, you can only wear them twice. One of them's in Germany. That's to sell jerseys, of course. And then the black one, I don't know why you can only wear it so little, but they're wearing white a lot. They wear white a lot in the early parts of the season. It's still hot out. You don't want to wear black. And so you want to wear black later in the year when it's a little bit colder. So if you want to wear black in the middle of September, October, in some places, especially, in the South, it gets hot still. So white does make a little bit of sense. Let me know what you guys think. Spread the word. I'm going to give you my recap of the Panthers' last preseason game against Buffalo Bills. That's going down Saturday at 1 o'clock. So my recap will be after that. See you guys soon.